I'm Wyatt, and this is the Garage R&R. Here, I focus on reviving old cars, trucks, tractors, and equipment that most people would have forgotten about. And today, I'm going to introduce you to Sylvie, my 1964 Chevrolet C10. This Chevrolet C10 spent roughly 40 years as a farm truck, hauling everything from hay to manure, a giant box on the back, a camp trailer, hauling the family across the nation. It literally did it all. And I think that might be why the bed looks the way it does. Now, I have seen much worse for much less, because for everything that it's done, I think it's okay to have a rough looking bed. But on top of that, it sat for 23 years in a backyard, and when I found it, it had dirt up to its rims. It had sunk in the ground, was covered in moss, faded out paint, and all around it just looked like something that was forgotten about. Until I made it a daily driver. Like most old farm trucks, this thing wasn't preserved in a museum, kept in a barn, or hidden away in a garage under a tarp. It was used. It was put to hard work, and that is evidenced in every scratch, dent, and ding that it has received. 62 years of life will do that to you. Just like you and I, we get scrapes and scratches, scars, and our hair goes gray instead of our paint fading out. But it's all just evidence of time and a life well lived. And I didn't want to take that away from it. Each and every dent and ding you see was earned, not put on there for the sake of putting it on there. And to preserve that patina and to preserve its history, I had to do the same to the passenger side, but in a different way. I had to repaint this whole panel of the bed and this door, but you wouldn't know that looking at it by first glance. And that is because I worked hard to retain the patina of what I think my interpretation of 60 years of wear and tear would give us. Well, obviously, it's definitely got some dents in it and a bit shinier and probably a bit more preserved than it would be. But this door used to be black, and this part of the bed from that rust spot down used to be white. But I had to match it. One of the perks by being a second owner of the truck is I get to discover a lot of what the first owners left behind, like this expertly installed shovel. This shovel is definitely not original to the truck, but it makes you wonder, was it put in there right at factory, or did the old man add it to dig himself out of the snow? I've been able to track down a lot of the story on this old truck, and I can confirm that that shovel was indeed used for digging yourself out of the snow. There's a picture of this truck with at least 4 feet of snow on its cab and 3 feet of snow on its hood, which can just tell you where this thing kind of spent some life at. And it's only a 2-wheel drive pickup, so having that shovel there is a little bit of that old history to bring life into the story even still today. The same can be said for these giant mirrors. The original mirrors, they're not supposed to look like this, but these mirrors were dealership installed and have been on the truck since it rolled off the driveway out onto the open road by the first owners. So one could say that these old mirrors are original. The interior of this thing is far from perfect, but so is the rest of the truck. And that's okay, because that is more proof of the life that it's lived. There is an image that I have that's nearly 30 years old of a little kid sitting here at the seat, and it looks just like this, all the way down to our shift linkage here made out of old pipe parts. But even the wear on the steering wheel, the wear on the seat, minus the duct tape, I added that. But the gun rack and the rusted interior, the missing visor fabric, the crack in the windshield from a BB gun, all of that is evidence of time, of history. There's history in this cab, things that have been done. The amount of people that learned how to drive in this car is also quite staggering. I have done very minimal to get this truck back to a driving state, but it's still far from perfect. There's quite a bit of things that still need to be done to get it even more roadworthy than it already is. I've taken it on some test drives here and there, 20 miles, nothing too extensive, but we've got suspension we gotta do, we've got an exhaust leak that's just developed, and well, let me show you. This door doesn't latch. That's why this little rope is on it. But you can see that that rope has been part of the truck long enough that it has made a line where it sits. All the way up the side of the truck. And there's a little hook on the inside here that's been there for just as long. So that too is just more evidence of time. This whole truck is a piece of rolling history. And I'm trying my best to preserve every bit of that while also putting my own spin on it. So that was just a little bit, a very summarized version of what this truck has done and what it's been through. If you're interested in seeing a video on its full history, maybe I'll make a video here in the future. So if you're interested in seeing more on this truck's history, leave a comment in the comments section below and we'll see about making a video about it. But enough about its past. Now I want to tell you what I've done to it and what my thought process is for its future. To make it a halfway decent and somewhat reliable vehicle, I had to go through and replace all of the wheel cylinders, the fuel tank, and the fuel pump. That's it. 23 years of sitting, and that's all I've had to do so far. But this restoration, this revival is far from over because we still don't have the blinkers working. The bed is in disrepair. And honestly, I'm kind of considering repainting this hood. Unfortunately, this hood is not authentic or original patina. There was a restoration project that was started on this truck before I got it, and there's evidence of that on like the cab corners where there's some Bondo that's cracked. I don't know how that got there, but I almost want to say that maybe a tree fell on that corner and that's why a restoration was started. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to repaint this whole hood back to blue and give it some authentic patina like I did to the door and that side of the bed on this passenger side. So that's really the only thing cosmetically that I'd like to do, because the rest of it is more on the suspension end of things. So because this old truck had a ginormous wooden box on the back of this thing that weighed an absolute ton, and it sat like that for 23 years, the suspension was affected. Right now, I've got a trampoline. My long-term goal and dream for this truck is to make it just as reliable as a new car you'd see driving down the road today. Because of its simplicity, it is just such a pleasure to drive. I don't have to worry about a check engine light. There's a couple lights that would turn on that would notify you that there's something you should probably check, but there's no crazy computerized display or overdone interior. It's metal, it's knobs, it's tubes, it's very minimal everything. And it just does the job it needs to do. It's got a 3 on the tree, 283 V8, and it's huge. I cannot stress how big this rig is. It truly is the cowboy Cadillac, because take a brand new truck of today, like the 2020 Chevrolet Silverado, and you sit in the cab of that truck, right? You could probably, if you leaned over, you could roll the window down by pressing the electric button. This thing's cab is as wide as a 5-foot bed is long. Yeah, it is 5 feet right there. The width of the 8-foot box is dang near 5.5 feet wide and just a skosh over 8 feet long. This is a limousine disguised as a pickup truck. Maybe limousines are pickup trucks in disguise. Either way, this thing is an absolute tank on the road, and you'd think that would affect the fuel mileage. This thing actually gets about 10 to 12, 13 miles per gallon with 3 speeds and a V8, and it weighs a little over 5,000 pounds. That's impressive. It's 62 years old, independent front suspension. I could go into the technical specifics of this truck all day long, and if you're interested in seeing one of those videos, leave that in the comments below. But apart from that, one day I hope to have this truck in a position to where I could drive it 2,000 miles across the country, to have it at that reliable position. People did it 62 years ago. Heck, the American highways were built for cars just like this. And I think, just possibly, this truck could be America's #1 classic truck. And I'll tell you exactly why I think that in the next video. So keep an eye out for new videos. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the videos, share them with a friend. I'm gonna go drive my pickup. I'll see you next time. See? That still needs some work, but she's good.
Old cars like these carry the memories of another time. And when the elders of this other time can no longer share with us their stories, all that will remain are the vehicles and machines they drove and helped build. Keeping these classic cars on the road these days has become increasingly more difficult. My only hope is that there are others out there who share the same fire in their soul and determination as I do in keeping these old cars on the road for the generations to come. After all, we are only stewards of their history.